What's up, everyone? Jason and Matt here, taking a look at some pitching options for tonight's nine-game slate. Coors game. Looking at some cheaper arms, which, really there's a ton of just because we don't have a lot of studs pitching. Carrasco's really the only one.
Yeah, everybody seems kind of cheap on both sides besides Carrasco, but Carrasco should be up there with his matchup today.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get this going.
Red Sox Orioles, first one here, Stephen Wright, Jason Aquino, one of the higher run totals. Obviously Wright was rocked by Baltimore, but we talked a little bit about this on the stacking pod. Knuckleball was definitely not working that day.
Yeah, just if you saw that chart, just all breaking to the same side. I can't see that happening again. So I do think Wright is maybe in play. I'm probably going to stay away, but if you go there with all the recency bias, he'll probably be really low owned. And if people are going to stack Baltimore and you have the Boston pitcher and he has a good game, it's a good way to get ahead of the field.
Yeah, look at him, decent outing against Toronto last time, against Tampa in his last start. Baltimore, that was the game. 4 home runs, 1.1 innings. And you look before that, he was solid against Baltimore in a couple starts in 2016 too.
Yeah, none of those guys had any BVP or anything. And BVP, I really believe in it when it's a knuckleball pitcher.
Yeah.
And they couldn't hit him, and he had a bad game. What are you gonna do? I don't see it happening again. I don't think he has a dominant game, but I think he has a solid game that puts him in consideration to pitch. But like, he's outside my top 5.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because his price is intriguing on DraftKings at 6.2. If you want to toss in a GPP multiple lineup type of thing, I'm okay with it. But that's about it.
Yep, me too.
And Aquino on the other side, I don't see any use for him tonight, even at a cheap price.
No, it doesn't even matter. He's 4K. We have another pitcher that's down there that I like a lot more. And, Boston's due, right?
Yeah, the righties in that lineup, granted, we get a lineup where their guys are actually in. I don't think Aquino's anything special here that I'm even considering him.
No, I even if I, made 10, 15 teams, I don't think he's going to make the cut.
Braves Phillies, Gerard Eichhoff, Jaime Garcia. You and I had similar thoughts on this one. Basically, no real use for these pitchers on tonight's slate, even with, average matchups for both of them.
Yeah, Atlanta doesn't really strike out that much, and Eichhoff's actually a pretty good pitcher, but he'll probably give up a couple home runs because that's what he does. And Jaime, I don't think so today.
Yeah, even against the Phillies, I'm just not that thrilled with what he's been doing. Yeah, and I think Eichhoff, there's just too many lefties in that lineup that I'm worried about. Mainly Freeman, Insarte, Markakis, that I think can get to Eichhoff enough to just kind of derail him from not having a good start.
Yeah, and we're in a good hitter's ballpark here in Citizens Bank, so I don't think you need to go there.
No. Next one here, got Indians and White Sox. Mike Pelfrey versus Carlos Carrasco. Obviously, Corey Kluber coming off a complete game shutout. This Chicago lineup is absolutely awful. Jose Abreu is not an intimidating force in the middle of it. They're striking out at a crazy high rate. Carrasco's easy the top dog tonight.
Oh yeah, I don't understand. He's got to be in consideration everywhere for cash, tournaments, everything, I'm just kind of thrown off here. I just found out on DraftKings, Pelfrey's not even in the player pool.
Well, good.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm not pitching him, and I don't think people were. But I'm just kind of surprised that with Aquino's in there. So why isn't Pelfrey in there?
Yeah, no, I know.
But yeah, to go on to what he was saying, absolutely not. Cleveland's my top stack of the night, so there's no way I'm throwing Pelfrey.
Yep. Yeah, Carrasco, good start. Indians minus 200 favorites. Everything kind of lines up there for Carrasco to just be the top guy. Even GPP-wise, I think you can fit him in, still fit some bats in with him.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Cardinals Brewers, Chase Anderson versus Lance Lynn. This one I feel like is just one big GPP game written all over it because I can see these pitchers both having a decent outing, but I can also see the bats getting to both of them too.
Yeah, let's start here with Anderson. I think he's in play. I actually really like Aledmus Diaz bat-wise, but besides him and maybe an outside shot of Grichuk, I think Anderson's really in play here. So he's probably like my 4 or 5 on the night, but in a GPP, I'll probably take a chance. And then, dude, I don't know what to do with Lance Lynn.
Yeah, I mean, touch on your Anderson thoughts. I think he's in play as well as a GPP arm. Cardinals 23rd in WOBA against righties. They don't hit the ball hard. A lot of their big bats are struggling right now. 22% strikeout rate. I mean, the only thing that really gets a bump is this ballpark. But yeah, I don't think Chase Anderson's actually a bad option in tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, this St. Louis team's not what it used to be, you know? No more Brandon Moss. Adams struggles. I mean, I just like Jed Jerko's not gonna scare me, you know. Like
Yeah, yeah. Look at that back half of
and
the lineup. I mean, yeah, Piscotty, I like him against lefties.
yeah, that's what
Molino, yeah, as you said, Grichuk, Colton Wong. I'm just not thrilled with this lineup.
no, they. I mean, and then going, I don't know where to start with Lynn. I really don't. I don't even know where to go here. Like they could Milwaukee's like kind of stackable, but then like Lynn could also. I mean, I pitched him last week against Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and that lineup is dreadful too. And I just he killed it for me, but I've been saying it all year. I said it on the first pod I think we recorded for baseball. Milwaukee has such an underrated offense, and people have no idea.
Yeah, I mean they're one of the good teams to target with pitching because you can go against the grain with it. They've hit 25 home runs this year. That's obviously a number where that scares you as far as opposing pitchers. But I mean, 27% strikeout rate against righties. They do hit the ball hard. Yeah, I just don't think I need to go with Lynn tonight. I don't know if I even want to just take the chance on a decent outing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and yeah, they've hit 25, and I didn't expect Thames to go like this.
Yeah.
But Shaw, I expected Shaw to do this. Shaw's a good player. I think people like Domingo Santana and Jet Bandy, they're really underrated. Like that's what I've been saying. Like this whole year, I think they're really underrated, and Lynn doesn't like. If I want to target them, I want people like I know this sounds simple, but like Thor. Like I want somebody who's going to overpower them and strike them out 12 times. Like that, Lynn's not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't see that either. And that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a different tier of pitcher where I feel like you can really get on board with against the Brewers, and Lynn's probably not one.
No, exactly.
So, yeah, so I think it's really a pass for Lynn here.
Yeah, and then like we said with Anderson, I don't mind it. I really don't.
No, I don't either. Royals, Rangers, Nick Martinez, Ian Candy. I just have a big note about these guys. I mean, Martinez 4K against his Royals offense, but I still can't do it.
No, we always joke about how the Royals just never come alive, but I mean, Nick Martinez is a AAA pitcher,
Yeah, there's no need.
And
Ian Candy, we had that scare with. I mean, just fly ball pitcher in that ballpark.
Yeah, it's just going to be a no-go for me. There's too many pitchers around his price that just make more sense.
Yep. Giants, Rockies, Matt Moore, Antonio Senzatella. Senzatella, I know you've kind of dug into his success here early on a little bit more than I have. But you can make your case for him. I think he's a cheap, intriguing option.
Yeah, and this was the pitcher I was talking about down there, which made more sense than going Aquino or even Nick Martinez. He's got this. He doesn't really throw too many curveballs. He throws a lot of sliders and fastballs, and he throws them really hard, and they don't really get affected that much by the elements and cores. So, I'm not saying, this guy's going to throw an absolute gem, but, I mean, like I was saying earlier, let's just look at his game log on DraftKings. He's had 3 games. One of them was at Coors, and that happened to be his best score. But he has 19.7 at Milwaukee, 22.2 at home against San Diego, and 15.6 at San Fran. I would take any of those scores at 4,100.
Yeah, I look at this Giants offense. I don't think it's that threatening. I mean, I really do. I think the only bets that my concern with are probably Belton Crawford.
Yeah,
I mean, most of it.
Maybe a one-off on Panic, but like because he's not going to hit a home run, but he racks up the points with his singles and runs and stuff like that. But I really think Senzatella's in play.
I mean, I think because of the slate and how it plays out, he is. Because
like if you want to go Carrasco and Indians or Carrasco and we'll talk about Colorado here in a minute, he kind of makes sense,
Yeah. No, I mean, I can definitely see it playing out. I mean, just because Coors hasn't played out to the angle that it has in previous years so far. So I think, and one, due to the cold weather,
Yeah, I was
That
about to
helps
say
out.
if we see that weather, like I mean, last night was honestly, I know it's Coors, but it was kind of fluky with how the weather was that it went off. But if we see that weather tonight like it was last night, I mean, I might be more on Senzatella than I am now.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Matt Moore not in play. Fly ball pitcher in cores. I mean, yes, weather might help him out a little bit, but too many power right-handed bats I think will knock him out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I just I'm not even going to reason myself here. There's no way I'm going to Matt Moore tonight.
Dodgers Diamondbacks, Robbie Ray versus Kenta Maeda. Kenta Maeda off to a rough start. This guy gets the quick hook. He's still priced up and too high for me to even consider. So, no thanks. I can't even make a case for him right now.
Nope. He's not a good pitcher. Like I don't understand his pricing. Like there's so many. I mean, the other pitcher in this game is 10 times better than him and 400 cheap. Like I never pitch Maeda. It just doesn't make any sense. Like not saying that he's probably gonna have a great game just because I said that, but no. Like even I'll live with people beating me with Maeda because I just don't think he has the stuff.
No, I think he was kind of that 1 year thing where, and even then, I mean, it was still a lot of mediocrity. I think he got bailed out by a good offense and a good bullpen for the most part. I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and it just seems like he always runs into trouble like that like second to almost third time around. It comes around like, fifth inning. And it's like he starts the inning off and it's like walk, walk, and then Dave Roberts is like, all right, you're done. And he's like at 75 pitches.
Yeah,
And at 9K, if he's getting me 12 points, I mean, I'm done.
yeah. Yeah, I look at Maeda. I mean, this is a guy who just hasn't pitched deep into games. I mean, he hasn't gone over 6 innings. Sorry, he's gone over 6 innings once in his last 12, 13 starts here.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes even less sense on FanDuel because he's not getting you a quality start bonus most likely.
I don't see it either.
You know,
Robbie Ray, I know, definitely have some interest in here. My concern, I think, with him is just obviously being back at Chase Field, where we did see the numbers jump a little bit. But I do believe this is still a lineup that he can get through.
yeah, and we talked about in the stacking pod how they're going to have a lot of their big bats out probably and put in those platoon guys. So I think Ray's in play here. I even think he's as crazy as it sounds. I think he's cash game playable.
Yeah, I don't mind on tonight's slate. I mean, I think he can, if he gets, says that he gives up a home run to Kike Hernandez or Van Slyke or something, I think he has that strikeout upside to off balance it. I mean, 28% strikeout rate going back to last year. You look at this Dodgers offense, strike out a fair amount against lefties as well. So, yeah, I don't mind Ray. I do think the only thing that hurts him is the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, he's your lock and cash. I mean, your lock and cash is obviously Carrasco.
Yeah.
But, if I'm playing cash, I don't mind Ray. I'm probably going to go Carrasco Skaggs, and we'll talk about Skaggs here in a minute. But if you want to go there, I mean, he's got upside to at least, I mean, he'd differentiate your SP2 there, but I mean, in tournaments, just go ahead and pitch Ray. I mean, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, I like him for tournaments. I think Skaggs has my edge a little bit more on cash games.
Yeah, I understand that.
Marlins Padres, Jared Weaver versus Dan Straley. I think Straley's an intriguing guy. Doesn't give up a ton of hard contact. In that ballpark, I mean, I can definitely see him. This is probably just definitely more of a DK thing. I can definitely see 15 to 20 points out of him and probably pick up a win as well.
Yeah. 77 on FanDuel, 78 on DraftKings, much more in play on DraftKings. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. 15 points makes sense. And I'm saying, I'm thinking 15 when he comes out of the game and then maybe 19 when he gets that win.
Yeah.
Like the Padres are, sneaky good. And I even say here, even though we didn't bash them on the stacking pad, but we didn't really like them, it wouldn't really surprise me if they did come out here and hit around Straley. But like, I feel like I'd take my chances,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I obviously I think guys like Margot and Myers, Solarte, Schimpf, Renfroe even are all solid. Austin Hedges is starting to come around, but yeah, I mean, I think I also look at kind of what they've been doing to pitchers beforehand. Straley's not bad, but obviously he's not good either. I think he's just one of those guys who really doesn't limit damage, and he's going to go 5-6 innings, give up 1 to 2 earned runs, and get about 5 to 6 strikeouts. So I think that's pretty much all I'm looking at out of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in play in tournaments for sure, and there's no way in hell I'm touching Weaver.
No. Weaver could be facing a single A team, and I would stack that single A team.
Yeah, no shot. I would touch him. I mean, it's in a weird spot because we're in a bad ballpark, and nobody really seems to stack the Marlins. I mean, they're not a bad team, but it's like it's not like it'd be hard for me to stack Miami here, kind of. But I mean, that doesn't mean that Weaver's in play.
No, definitely not. Blue Jays Angels, Tyler Skaggs versus Casey Lawrence. We'll get this one out of the way. Casey Lawrence, not an option I'm looking at.
Nope, definitely not.
Tyler Skaggs, though, coming off a great start against Kansas City, gets a Blue Jays team that this lineup is just bad. They've been bad all year. Jose Bautista finally got a homer last night, but this dude's still hitting under $150. And that's supposed to be your best hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't have it anymore. He's done. This would usually be a spot where, and honestly, I kind of hope it is, where people would hop on Toronto because they usually, just crush lefties, and obviously that takes a little hit with Donaldson being hurt. But I really hope people are on Toronto tonight. That'd be great. I mean, I'm definitely on Skaggs here with that Marine layer and just Toronto being mediocre so far. Dude, he has a chance to be the best pitcher on the slate.
I think so, yeah, because, I mean, we're going to get to a thing here in the moment. Yeah, I mean, Skaggs, 23.4% strikeout rate going back to last year. Doesn't allows a fair amount of fly balls, but in that ballpark, I'm not particularly worried. It's one of the best pitching parks in baseball. As you said, the Marine play really knocks things down. Tulo questionable for tonight's game, so that could be another right-handed bat out of the lineup. I mean, we're looking at Kevin Pillar, Darwin Barney, Devin Travis, who's more of a righty guy. Steve Pearce, I don't know what's happened to him this year. This is usually a guy who hit lefties well, but this is just a bad lineup right now.
Yeah, I mean, you take like I said earlier, you have Donaldson outside there, and he's not in the lineup, and it's just it doesn't scare me, not even a little bit. Like maybe there's a little bit of maybe Morales revenge, but that's about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Skaggs is in play. I like him in cash and GPPs.
Yep.
So, as far as most strikeouts, who you got tonight?
Well, I went first last time, so I'm gonna let you go first this time.
See, I got Skaggs. I think Skaggs is a guy. I think he dials up about 8 or 9 strikeouts, which I think Carrasco will be close, but it'll be between two of them.
Yeah, that's my guy. I think it'll be between those two. I think they both have potential to possibly hit double-digit strikeouts.
I do too, and I think Robbie Ray is. If we're adding in a third, he's that third guy. So strikeout rate, I think there's no one that really comes close to those three.
No, so I mean, if you have a chance to get those three in most of your lineups, you're going to be looking pretty good.
Yep, I think so as well. Good floor there. So let's get wrap things up here. You can check out dailyfantasycafe.com for all great tools and content.